Chapter after chapter, the Boruto manga produces some of the best new-gen works of our generation. With only 10 chapters, Kishimoto has completely turned the public's opinion about this manga and is becoming more and more interesting. Chapter 10 of the Boruto manga has been released with the official translation, and according to Kurama, the theory regarding the regular use of the Baryon mode is no longer so impossible. Is this the first major death in the series, or we just think so? I will say in this video the ways in which he can be brought back to life. This emotional attachment is the only thing Jura does not understand, but after this chapter he will truly see the power of such a bond. The whole scene between Jura and Himawari is very similar to the one between Naruto and Pain, only this time Jura needs an answer, not Naruto, and Himawari is the key to his answer. Sarada is about to fight her father's clone, and I'm glad it will be a battle that will span multiple chapters. Kawaki has caught on to Shikamaru's lie, and Boruto is hiding somewhere, waiting for his karma to be removed. Before we get into the action, please press the like and subscribe button, because it helps me a lot, and let's see. Himawari is on this month's cover, along with Kurama. The title is Kernel, and it refers to the chakra core. When Kurama explained to Naruto what Baryon mode is, he used the same word. The cores of the two clashing violently produce the energy needed for Baryon mode, and since we've brought this up, I want to explain my perspective on it. I really believe that in the future Himawari could recreate Baryon mode, but this time without dying. To understand how, we need to start from the beginning, with the moment when Kurama explains to Naruto what this destructive mode is. Well, it is very similar to the solar energy, specifically the method of generating solar energy through nuclear explosions. This method is created when hydrogen protons collide violently with the sun's core. This creates helium atoms, but this process can also be achieved through fusion, where two hydrogen atoms are eventually converted into energy. I believe that Himawari and Kurama will be able to access this mode without the risk of dying. This is because in Naruto's case, the two had to collide their cores to create this energy. Himawari and Kurama are like one. Since we have the official translation, we see Kurama saying that he and Himawari are a single soul. This was not the case with Naruto. This is the first time a beast has been reborn in someone naturally. Kurama and the other beasts have always been forcibly sealed, except in the case of Hagoromo, but this time Kurama coexists with Himawari as one mind in one body with one soul. Thus the two share the same power core. After much training, Himawari will be able to access a power much greater than what Naruto had with Kurama. On the first page we see Team 10 along with Himawari flying on Inojin's bird. Meanwhile, Jura tells Hidari that they probably run because they want to change the battlefield to avoid destroying Konoha. Konohamaru and the other Jonin find the two intruders. Konohamaru confirms to the sensory team that they found them, but there's no sign of Team 10. Shikamaru tells them to relax because Team 10 is okay for now. They took Himawari and are running to lure the enemies outside. Shikamaru continues to say that it's not yet clear, but they are after Himawari. Although he knows there's this dilemma with the Nine Tails, he decides not to mention it. Both Kawaki and Boruto hear this. We see Boruto staying somewhere in the village, waiting for the karma to retreat. It is very interesting to see Boruto like this. From the first chapter of the time skip, he appeared to be this invincible shinobi. He stepped on the face of a character who's technically stronger than Jigen, humiliating him. Similarly with Kawaki, he could have easily used Rasengan Uzuhiko on him, or even worse, but he didn't want to do that. He wants to channel his power where it is deserved. But alongside all this power and incredibly useful jutsus, the only thing holding him back is his karma. Because no matter how good he is, if Kawaki is around, the karma activates, especially now that Kawaki knows his weakness and will surely exploit it. In my opinion, the moment of losing control for Boruto is gradually approaching. It's no coincidence we were shown such a reference so early. Before he can control the karma 100% as we see in their battle, he will have to go through a very tough moment in the future, and that future seems to be getting closer and closer. Shikamaru is tired of seeing this conflict between the two, but only now he didn't know how to separate Kawaki from Boruto, to make Kawaki care less about him. Well, he got an idea, although I'm not sure how good it is. It seems too much like Shikamaru is defending the one who theoretically killed his best friend, and Kawaki has realized this. The 8th Hokage tells him to forget about Boruto and head towards Himawari. Apparently these intruders are also his enemies, so they can take advantage of Boruto's power. If Himawari is in danger, you should have said from the beginning, you bastard. It's already clear that the bond formed between Shikamaru and Kawaki over the past 3 years has broken. At the same time, we see that Kawaki still cares about only one person, Himawari. He even has a certain affection for her. Since the anime, we've seen their relationship gradually evolve. I think in the future, after a few interactions with Boruto, Himawari will become even more attached to him, especially especially if she learns from Kurama the truth. I believe she will defend Boruto a lot, thus she is the only chance for Kawaki to retain a bit of logic. In the time skip scene when he said he will send Boruto where Naruto is, we think that he will send him to that dimension. Well, for now he wants to kill him, along with any trace of Otsutsuki's. But maybe because of Himawari and the fact that she loves Boruto so much, he will make an exception. How Kawaki will become so powerful in the future that he can rival Boruto with Karma and Jogan, we still don't know. Moving on, we can see Boruto's Karma still on his right hand. Shikamaru asks him if he's okay and Boruto tells him not to worry, just a minor issue, he needs a short break. From his and Kashin Koji's reaction, it's clearly not a minor issue. They have clearly been through this before and know the disaster that Karma can bring. Meanwhile, Jura looks at Konohamaru as if he were a bug ready to be squashed. I mean seriously, out of so many elite ninjas, Anbu troops, and other members of Konoha 11, these are the ones you could send. I would really like to see more interaction with the older characters. I mean, without them dying, I would really like to see Sakura there, to be in some kind of danger, so the fight between Sarada and Hidari would have more weight. But moving on, Jura heads towards Team 10 and Himawari, and Konohamaru is stunned when he looks at this Shinju. He informs the sensory team that as far as he knew, Sasuke was among them, but he doesn't see him. They communicate back to him that the person in front of him is indeed Sasuke Uchiha. He has the same chakra. Sarada and Sumire interrupt them, at which point Sarada locks eyes with her father's clone. Hidari doesn't hesitate for a moment and spreads his teleportation marks around them. He then teleports behind Sarada and activates Chidori. Sarada activates her 3 Tomoe Sharingan and successfully avoids it, forming a Chidori herself and this time hitting him. Hidari falls for a short period of time. I don't know who Sarada trained with over these 3 years, but it's a big deal to have a faster reaction speed than a Shinju attacking her up close, having both the chakra from the Ten Tails and Sasuke. Her improvement in battle is clearly visible, and if she can do this with just her regular Sharingan, we can expect an amazing fight. Later, Sarada realizes that it was a Chidori like hers and Sasuke's. At this moment, she understands who is in front of her. The scene changes to Himawari, and it follows with a discussion that will forever remain in the history of this manga. Kurama is about to explain the foundation of the future powers Himawari will have. He tells her that he's Kurama, but she can also call him the Nine Tails, whichever it's fine. Himawari obviously chooses to call him by name, just as Naruto called the Beast. To begin with, she has a few questions. Why is he inside her and what is this place? Kurama clarifies and tells her that is not a real place. What you see is your consciousness made visible. At this moment, we are exchanging thoughts with each other. This is because a key point follows now. You and I are one body and one soul. Meanwhile, Team 10 tries to wake Himawari, but no chance, and Jura starts to catch up with them. Kurama continues to explain that he used to coexist with her father, Uzumaki Naruto, but during the battle, Kurama's life flame was extinguished. However, something speculated by the entire community since his disappearance is that death is not eternal for us beasts. Even if our body or soul disappears, over time a core will be reborn somewhere, allowing us to return to life. Colonel Himawari asks the same word we talked about at the beginning of the video, and which has a greater significance, being explained in the past when Naruto activated Baryon mode. Kurama goes on to say that no one knows how long this regeneration process will take or where it will happen, and he certainly didn't expect to be reborn inside Himawari so quickly, according to him. The universe is full of mysteries, says Kurama. It's possible that you were born with part of my chakra, or this was your destiny. It might be due to destiny because you have the blood of both Uzumaki and Hyuga clans. Himawari is surprised to hear all of this, and I'm glad it's the real Kurama explaining everything to her. He's doing a very good job both for her and for us, making us understand as much as possible. But since it has already happened, it doesn't matter anymore. What's more important is to accept the circumstances and move forward, don't you think? Kurama says. I am Uzumaki Himawari, she replies, pleased to meet him. Well done, Himawari, Kurama responds, indicating that he's happy she understands everything so quickly, and encouraging her. We see Kurama eager to use his power once again. Meanwhile, Himawari wakes up and sees Jura behind them, more terrifying than ever. She calls out Kurama in despair, but nothing happens. Jura destroys one of the bird's wings with a bijou bomb bomb, causing them to make an emergency landing. Fortunately, Chocho brings them safely to the ground. Jura compliments their teamwork again, but it's a shame he has to kill them, something he claims they choose themselves. Himawari keeps calling out Kurama, but he tells her to stop acting like a spoiled child. The only person who can do something in this situation is her. It's up to you whether you use my power or reject it, he says. In Naruto's case, Kurama could always exert his chakra outside his body, even controlling him when he lost his mind or when the seal was broken. But in this situation we see that he cannot do that. He tells Himawari that only she can use his power, a very interesting detail. Kurama continues to say that he can feel Himawari's chakra having a greater affinity with his, even greater than Naruto. These many details will lead to the amazing power the two will display. You must have confidence in yourself. Your future is not bright either way. Himawari rushes towards Jura but ends up with a broken leg. Jura catches her, intending to consume her, while Inojin tries to save her. At this moment we see a scene very similar to Naruto vs Pain, when Naruto was on the ground just like Himawari is now and forced to watch someone dear to him get hurt. Well, Himawari is forced to watch Inojin being pierced by Jura. At that moment, Himawari loses control and breaks free. We see the marks on her face very similar to those of Baryon mode. She looks much more like that than the classic mode when Naruto loses control. This is because Himawari and Kurama now understand each other. Baryon mode is so rare because there has never been a beast willing to give its life for its Jinchuriki. So the bond between them is much stronger and is more controlled. Everyone else is amazed and Kurama seems happy and ready to see what it's like to fight alongside Naruto's daughter. And finally, I want to talk about how Inojin could be saved, because although I wouldn't necessarily be disturbed by his death, as it seems to be a good fuel for Himawari to evolve, but I still think they wouldn't kill him off like that. Himawari might be able to kill Inojin, although it's very difficult because theoretically all his organs are destroyed. Only Momoshiki could do that with the help of karma. The second option would be one of Sarada's Mangekyo abilities. She might have a healing ability similar to her mother on this aspect, possibly being able to regenerate organs and tissue from scratch. Boruto could teleport Inojin back to Orochimaru's hideout to save him, thus Himawari would be grateful and start to get along better with Boruto. Kawaki could take him to Amado, who has the most advanced technology and could rebuild him with cyborg parts, or take him to the dimension without time, where he wouldn't die yet. Sakura, being the best healer in the entire shinobi world, could help him, although I don't see how she could recreate organs unless she gives him Hashirama cells. Or the last option would be for Inojin to use his father ink technique. The ink clone doesn't disappear immediately and would be a good explanation. But what do you guys think about all of this? Write in the comments. Thank you all for the support, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.